All right, and we're live. Here we are with a band. Do you guys want to introduce yourselves as ongoing project of I don't know who you are. I don't know who you are. Tell us who you are.
Uh, we're both in a project called 36 and in a project called Laura Hickley.
Yes.
And I run the project 36 and Laura runs the project Laura Hickley.
I think I've heard of you guys actually. What? Awesome. And what the hell is going on with you guys? I started this off the most easy way. Quarantine, COVID-19. Let's just give everybody the update. What have you guys been doing in Calgary, I'm assuming? In the whole...
we've been watching a lot of TV, like a lot of shows.
Okay.
Way more shows than I've ever watched in my entire life, all in this time of quarantine. But also, we watched the entirety of BoJack Horseman, which was sick.
Hey.
Yeah.
Did a bunch of Americans tell you to watch that show by any chance?
No, it was Taylor.
You can still find
Okay.
in Canada, you know.
You know, it's not like we don't have good stuff out here. We just take all of your stuff.
No, yeah. I know. I'm sorry. I'm already doing a fake Canadian accent. Oh, yeah. Anywho.
And then also, we've been working on both of our records. Taylor's producing these a new record for 36 and also co-producing my record, and they sound great.
Ooh.
Probably have some plans for a new release in the future coming up.
Hell yeah.
We can't talk about
Yeah,
yet.
it's a secret.
Who knows?
Nothing's
Who knows what it's all
happening.
about?
I don't know what.
You guys are
They're
the
talking
only
about
people that I've interviewed so far that are actually on a label. So, you're held to the bounds and the rules a little bit more, you know?
Yeah, we screwed those up during quarantine, actually, with the 36-minute workouts that we were doing for a while.
Yeah. We got in trouble because we were losing fans who arrived for the music.
Every single person that we got from ads to the music page unfollowed us because when they got there, they were like, "Why are they working out?"
You know, you try to be an artist of many mediums, but the people
Truly.
just want the OG stuff.
Well, here's my recommendation then. If you guys ever want to do side projects, make a second Instagram or whatever.
Yeah,
That's
the
what we were
Finsta.
Yeah, the Finsta. That's what I did with literally this. I was like, I don't even want to do it on my own Instagram. I'm going to do interviews on a separate thing.
Yeah.
I guess that's what we do now. You don't want to, it's weird to think that your friends don't want to support your art, but, you know.
Sometimes they
realistically
don't.
speaking, they don't. Yeah, it's okay. They'd rather just see your, selfies every now and then or whatever.
Yeah.
That's a certain culture. So social media and Netflix, that's that's been the 29 or 2020, I guess. Yeah, fuck. That's already.
Dang,
Yeah.
it's 2020.
2020
June.
so far has been mainly watching the world go in crazy, basically.
Yeah.
But from a random basement suite in Calgary, Alberta.
Yeah, we were supposed to be here temporarily, and we were going to leave on tour again in April.
Yeah.
And our visas got approved the day the borders closed. So we slowly watched our entire tour, and Taylor had spent so many hours on this booking this tour.
Yeah, we lost 3 months of dates, so.
That sucks. That was another West Coast tour, or where were you guys headed?
We were actually going to be in, right now we would be in, New York City, kind of East Coast area.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
So East Coast, other stuff. Were you going to do the van again?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got the van outside. It's just chilling.
Yeah, I went in it today to get the speeding ticket that was inside of it and some sunglasses because Yeah, it's hot out. It's
How do you
hot
get a
out now.
speeding
And
ticket?
yeah, there's a swimming pool now because
Yeah, we got a swimming pool in the backyard.
it's sweet.
Oh.
Not a nice one
Not
like
as
yours.
good as yours. Your swimming pool's actually.
Hey, whoa! I don't have a swimming pool. What do you mean?
Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about. Sorry.
People will know I have a swimming pool. It's not mine. It's not mine.
They'll be able to find your house so easy because
Yeah.
it's like the
Yeah.
only house that has a swimming pool.
Only
in the backyard,
house in
right?
all of California that owns a swimming pool. I actually wanted to get into the van a bit because that's something that I find really fascinating about your guys' like stuff, like the whole like endless tour experience. Oh, someone got a Facebook notification. Let's go. Taylor's checking it. More
Honestly, it wasn't on our end.
It wasn't on our
It's
end.
you. That's you.
no, it's on me. Oh my god, no.
Wow.
Okay. Oh, it's my mom. Thanks, Mom. I'll look at that later. The only person who talks to me on Facebook is my mom. Anyways, I wanted to talk about the van because I find that whole part of your guys' like situation to be really fascinating. How did that become like a thing? Like when did the van and like the sort of world tour, or not world, but like North American, just like constant driving around thing start?
I don't know. I guess like the van is kind of just like out of necessity for me at least.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's like you have to be able to. In order to like be able to like have a consistent like standard of living and only play shows is like you have to be on the road all the time, I think. And so like it kind of just started with like us deciding that we were going to be going on tour.
Mm-hmm. And I mean, it's not fun to have to think about where you're gonna sleep on tour, like and have to plot out like this is the hostel we'll stay at here and this is like the hotel we'll get here, is not only way too much money, like it wouldn't make touring affordable to do that for us anyways, for the extent that we were gone, but also it's just a lot of extra work.
Yeah.
But if you can just sleep in your van, I mean, you're good to go, right? Yeah. But we didn't want to just sleep in the van the way that like where you just like put your seats back and like sleep on the chair, because that after a while would suck. So Taylor's friend built this like enclosure in the van that had just enough space for all the instruments to go in the bottom, and then we just put my little mattress on top of the enclosure, and we're good to go.
It works well.
And that was really good for like 6 months, and that's when we were touring with Carrie too. And we were all three of us were sleeping on that mattress together.
Wow.
It was ridiculous.
It's pretty high.
Was it ever awkward, or was it you just like family, I guess? Just like...
I mean, family's awkward.
Yeah, I didn't really ever feel that awkward.
There was a lot of beautiful moments. I think there's a lot of bonding that never would have occurred if we weren't having like 3-way sleepovers every night, you know?
Yeah.
But also it was horrible sometimes, and mostly setting up. Well, I built an extra bed for Carrie at one point because it started getting way too much, because she started getting anxiety about sleeping like 3 inches from the roof, especially when we were in like hot places like Arizona.
So it'd be like hard for her to breathe.
I see.
She felt like there was less oxygen up there or something.
So she would like dramatically like jump, like slide out of the tiny little spot she had in the bed, like onto the secondary chair there, and just like gasp for air and stuff. We were like, okay, we need to figure something out.
Yeah.
Time to update the plans, update the structure. It's quite the engineering feat, I think, to like really have so much space fit in all in one like perfect vehicle for touring, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm pretty lucky to have it.
Yeah. We're going to do some upgrades we were going to do some upgrades on this next I guess, tour cycle by like taking out that back seat because Carrie doesn't tour with us anymore. Now it's just us two.
Mm-hmm.
And kind of adding in some more stuff and maybe actually getting a battery, like a generator this time so that we have power.
Yeah.
Solar panels? Question mark.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be sweet.
That'd be cool.
If there was one thing like you like to someone who's never like gone on like a tour in a van or like really toured, is there like what are like your do you have any advice or like sort of tips, I guess, for like how did you guys get good at that and become like successful touring people, so to speak? Because I don't think anyone can do it. You guys are kind of special in that sense.
Anybody can do it.
You just had to be down to like sleep in like I don't know, to just like comfort, like regular like comforts that you have living in the first world are like not like super available all the time, I guess. Like having like I don't know, just knowing where you're gonna sleep. That I don't know. It's like being a homeless person, I guess, but having a van that you can sleep in.
Are you guys fan of vanners at all? Like van life in general? Like I know there's like a community for that. So.
Yeah, totally. I found that community after we lived in a van for a year.
I think there's actually a really famous guy from Vancouver, Van City Life, or not Van City Life.
Van
Maybe
Life.
that is what it is. Cause like,
it's van
like,
life, van city, yeah, something like that.
There's something.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Yeah.
That's super awesome. I'm glad to hear that the van is getting its needed, upgrades and staying a part of
Yeah. You learn a lot and you kind of just keep trying to get better every single day. And if people do want tips, you can park at rest stops and then you have a restroom, which is dope, or truck stops. Then you have access to a restroom all night because gas stations are open all night. And what's another good tip?
Meals, maybe? How does the food work in the van?
We have a cooler.
Yeah.
So you're gonna eat, so like you can usually get away with like grabbing ice from like gas stations. Not so much in California.
Yeah, California hates us.
Yeah.
But you can just, we have like a bunch of old Vega protein powder containers that have like lids, and we fill them up with ice from like Slurpee machines.
Yeah.
In gas stations, and then like it stays cold in our cooler like for 2 days before we have to change the ice.
Do the people like notice you guys doing that and give you weird looks, or like
Yes.
Yeah. Sometimes.
But we're just like, dude, it's water, man. Like,
Yeah.
water in frozen form?
Yeah.
Yeah, because most places are like, most places will give you like a glass of water for free. So it's basically the same.
Some people get mad at you, but you've already done it because we have a system where one person goes in and fills up the ice, whereas the other person's going in with the coffee press and putting hot water in it.
You take their water of all forms.
All of the forms. So then one person leaves with the ice, and while the gas station attendee's like distracted with the person that's taking their coffee water.
I didn't know that was the system.
This is the system that Carrie and I
going in and doing it because I thought it was fine.
How do you guys decide who does which chore? Or is it just like there's been a predetermined like, okay, Taylor's ice, Laura's hot water?
No, Taylor's gas.
Usually I'm
Taylor's
filling
paying
up
for
gas,
gas.
so I didn't know any of this.
We're stealing all this stuff, and the person is like distracted because Taylor's paying for gas.
I don't think they're really stealing. I think.
Yeah, let's not say they're stealing.
They're not stealing it. We're not.
It's
and
water,
I mean,
right?
If they do tell us like, "Hey, you got to pay for that," we'll be like, "Oh, really? We didn't know," and and then we'll pay for it if we have
It's
to.
making us look bad.
Yeah.
yeah. What if your record producer watches this or whatever? Or like,
they'll be like, innovative.
Get this far into the podcast.
Wow, we really are good at saving money.
What's wrong with California though? Is it like just none exists, or?
It seems like California is like just like extra harsh on homeless people. So like getting like water or ice or just free shit at gas stations is like way less. Like it's not available there.
Yeah. Or washrooms, they always say that they're broken down all the time. Like even if they're not broken. And if you do end up getting into a washroom, they've taken all the mirrors out of the bathrooms. Because that makes it so that people aren't going to spend very much time in there, like cutting their hair or, you know, it's really sad, honestly. It's really sad.
Yeah, it was interesting.
Jeez, yeah. I mean, I see that myself. I've definitely been in lots of bathrooms without mirrors. And it's like, just to curb homelessness from
totally. Because you can tell that the mirror used to be there. Like, you can see the clips that held it in.
Yeah.
Bygone eras. Wild.
Yeah.
What's like the weirdest sort of experience that you guys have ever had with like a gas station person or just like at a gas station? If there is a story, if there's no story, we can just.
I have one that's not from tour, but I was in a gas station and I had a bunch of friends with me, and my friends were going and like grabbing food. I was like basically the DD for the night, and everyone else was like really high on LSD. And I just was talking to the gas station attendant for so long, and then he seemed like a really nice guy. And then next time I came to the same gas station, I was alone, and then like I go and pay for gas, and I'm out at the pump, and I'm at the pump, and then I turn around, and he's like this. On the pump, and I'm like, hey man, and then he asked me if I want to have a threesome with this girl that he's seeing.
That's how you make friends, right there.
And I was like, thanks, but I don't know, I'm not really interested. I'm flattered though, thank you. He's like, really? And I was like, yeah.
This is in Canada?
Really? Yeah, this was right next to my high school. Wow. And I was not in high school at this time. There's at least not that layer. But and then I got into the car, and then I like calmly like smiled and got into the car and drove away, and then just like a block down, I just started screaming.
I was like, oh my god! Well, there was this one time on tour when we parked the van outside of the gas station while Taylor went inside to get something. And this chick from Survivor came up.
Oh, yeah.
Like full on from Survivor. And she's like, hey, what was it? The Tiger Queen from,
No.
who was she? What was her deal?
She,
what was her name?
There was some point on the show and she was singing like "Eye of the Tiger" or something. Eye of the Tiger.
She's like, just search "Eye of the Tiger" lady on Survivor, and that's me. Anyways, let me check out your van and see what's wrong with it. And she like opened up the hood and she smelt it. She's like, coolant leak. I've seen these 100 times before. And like, it was so funny.
Yeah.
Was she right?
And she was
she was right for sure.
She was right, and she was like so extra, and we got a picture with her and everything because she was so funny.
It was so wild.
Wild. That's already two stories that like I think beat any story I've ever done. Like I guess I'm just too young. I'm only 22, so that's my
You got time.
Jeez. Wow,
the stories will start flooding in.
Yeah, just
flooding
get ready.
I'm hoping to go on tour at some point with some bands that I would manage. But anyways, that's not about me, or that's about me, not about you guys. Okay, I kind of had like a few different things I wanted to talk to you. I feel like let's just deconstruct the interview. Do you guys want to talk about like the band's history, or is that something that you've done a million times and don't really like?
I'm down. I'm down to just. I'll just follow your lead. You know.
Because I did a little digging, and I know that your stuff, Taylor, especially your stuff has been around for a minute. Laura, I didn't actually know if you were going to be participating, so I didn't do as much Laura.
That's okay.
Research.
No, let's do 36 stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But I looked into that, and I just wanted to talk about a few different things. Mainly, we're in a very interesting time right now. Are you thinking about your protest song "Suck," or is that what it's called? I'm trying to remember. From 17 or whatever. I think you were 17 on.
Yeah. Like, what do you mean?
Well, do you like? Okay, so how did that project happen? I mean, it seems like there was some disgruntlement with like middle schoolers or something, or like younger kids thinking they're cool.
Okay, so basically, that record was kind of about like I kind of like because I grew up listening to like bands like Anti-Flag and NoFX and all those kind of things, and that record was kind of like just me like kind of just like thinking about like how weird it is that like to have like a trend be like yeah, like like something like that kind of fuck the establishment kind of thing being a trend that like is being monetized and how that's kind of fucked. And that was what that record was kind of about. But also I was like that period of time was like exceptionally, I was like very, very over medicated for ADD medication, and found and like and was also in kind of a, I don't know if I would say like an edgelord like kind of mentality, or
I read
like,
someone calling it angsty because like I like looked up some like kind of bio type stuff.
Yeah.
And
so like yeah, it was like it was very like just like kind of flippant, angry, kind of in a state of psychosis, kind of overly stimulated music.
I mean, the production's actually pretty good for like Bandcamp in 2007. I gotta say that. Like, I was like, wow, this doesn't sound terrible. Like, I'm not saying it should sound terrible, but like, you know, at 17, I don't know. It's like you started playing music at when? I guess. Also, that's kind of a curious question. When did you guys both start playing music instrumentally?
I started playing music when I was. I brought your water. It's in here.
My water is in here.
Yeah. I started playing music when I was 8 years old. I started taking piano lessons from the pastor of the church that I went to at the time's wife. And I was a homeschooled kid, so it's literally all I did forever. And like I got really, really good at it really fast, and then started teaching when I was 12, and like it was nuts. And like and then I started learning guitar in high school, but I still don't really know what I'm doing. I just I don't know what any of the chords are really. Like I know the basic ones, but for the most part I'm just like repeating shapes and stuff, and it's fun. I like having an instrument that I'm really good at and then an instrument that I'm not really good at, because you can write more songs on the instrument that you aren't good at, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, that's my story.
What about vocals? How long have you been singing, Laura?
Oh, I started singing when I was 13, and apparently I used to sound like a dying cow. That's what my brother said anyways.
Okay.
And a lot of people in my church used to say that they thought that I was a terrible singer. And I don't know what happened, but eventually at some point I just like practiced enough, and now I'm good and people like my voice.
Dang, real life hating.
Yeah, I guess I just went the complete opposite direction from what they expected.
Well, in a way, like, do you ever feel like that was a motivator for your success, to like want to get good at something that people didn't think you were good at, or was it more of just like
interesting.
You didn't think about it that much?
I didn't think I sucked. I didn't hear me sucking, and most people didn't tell me I sucked except my brother until later in life when I was good, and they were like, "Wow, weird, you're good. You used to suck."
Oh, dang. Well, in a way, that's okay, I guess. I mean, you still got to the point that you are. Well, fuck what people think. I don't think
Yeah.
you should worry about that, but.
Yeah, no, it's nice to be like, yeah, I don't suck.
Oh my god.
What about you, Taylor? What's your real quick? Because I mean, I know you've probably done it a few times, and some people don't enjoy it, so I don't want to force it.
Well, I mean, I kind of like it all kind of started around when I was like around 10, I think, or maybe 8. I don't know, young enough that I don't remember.
Wow.
On piano, and but I didn't really start kind of coming into my own as like an artist until I was like 16, and that was when I started actually using like recording software and building like a
Thanks, Siri.
sorry, Google.
Google.
Sorry,
Not the first time that's happened.
From the web.
Don't worry.
Hey.
Usually it's my phone.
Yeah, and so I kind of like learned what I kind of thought of as like my own music as like just through like learning how to record and stuff. Cuz like since then I've always kind of written music in like the studio. And cuz the way I think about music isn't like how I think a lot of people think about music when they're writing is like I feel like a lot of people are like, oh, I wrote this like part, and
then they add another part or whatever.
And then whereas like I'm kind of like thinking about the entire song in my head before I start playing music.
Yeah.
So that kind of started in high school when I first started like recording music to write music.
I'm a witness to this because he's written a lot of songs on tour, and how he does it is so interesting. I've never seen anybody do it like this, but he'll just like come back from like a 10-minute walk and he's like, dude, I wrote this whole song. And I'm like, what? And he's like, just hang on, I gotta write it down. I gotta like sing it into my phone. And then he sings the melody. He's like, da, 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 and then he like sings the like the bass line, and he sings the drum beats, but it's all really rough and hilarious. And then the drums go like this. It's like, it's dope. I don't know how he does it.
What can I say?
You guys like, what's it like to listen to music? Do you guys like overanalyze it while you're listening to it naturally, or is it still fairly like you're just listening to listen to something? Like a person who doesn't understand music theory or like chords and tempo and all the crazy stuff.
I personally just kind of like the way I think about music is like I think that music is good if it makes
you want to make music.
No, I think music is good if it makes me feel something, you know, like so if like it feels like it's
like genuine.
It's like genuinely getting
a feeling.
If it's like the genuine feeling that like went into the music is the feeling that I'm getting when listening to it, I think that is like successful art.
Mm-hmm.
So when I listen to music, it's not like I'm listening for any sort of like, I don't really care if it's like cliche or if it is any, or if it's like simple or anything like that. I just care if it makes me feel something, and then I think it's good. You know, I don't know.
Yeah.
I
don't have a pretentious ear, maybe is one way of calling it.
I
think it is a pretentious ear, sort of, in a way.
Like, there's definitely a lot of music that I'm like, this is trash.
Yeah. If it doesn't immediately give you the feeling of like, yes, I'm here and I'm with you right now in this moment, it's really hard for me to like actually sink into a song, you know?
Yeah. It's got to make you feel something, or at least it has to feel genuine, you know? Definitely. Even if it's like the feeling that it makes you feel is like, just some like
Chillin'.
very basic chillin' vibes, you know. That's fine. It doesn't need to rip your heart out. It just needs to be like successful in creating the feeling that is intended. And so like if I don't know, I feel like a lot of music falls short of that, but a lot of music also like is successful. And if like something's produced really shittily, it just drives me crazy. I don't know. But if something, that's not to say it can't be produced like lo-fi music. It's like,
what is shitty production?
Shitty production is production that doesn't match the like intention of the music to me. Like, so like if you could make like, if like, I think shitty production would be like if you recorded something with really terrible equipment and then tried to make it sound like you didn't record it with terrible equipment, it would probably be shitty. But if you recorded something with terrible equipment and played into the fragility of the equipment that you're playing, that you're using, and like accentuated how imperfect it was, that would be great production, usually, I think.
So good production is not trying to cover up something, like cover up what is there.
I think it's just treating the music as it is, and like being genuine with what the art is, and not trying to make it something else.
Okay.
But like,
I'm hearing a little echo.
You're hearing echo?
Yeah, I'm hearing my own voice. I wasn't hearing it before. Just wanted to check in. Did you change a setting or something? Or?
How about now?
Hello? I don't hear it as much. Okay.
Okay.
Hopefully your mics aren't picking it up, but if so, whatever. Well,
I don't think they would be.
If they're that's not something that you guys know more about music shit than I do, so or audio equipment. So I'll trust.
Yeah.
But it is a bummer if I listen to it and I can hear my voice in your guys' recording. So just know that.
That's just, you know what that is? That's just when you just got to play with the production to like make it so that it's exactly the way that it was.
Yeah.
And everything that happened was the way it was meant to be. And it was all intentional.
Yeah. You gotta
that was the way the art was meant to be. I mean,
show the audience that weird slapback delay that's happening. Really give the listeners a feel for what it's like.
Yeah. Just turn up the volume. Of the slapback.
Well, that actually made me want to ask another question, which I guess is, what are you guys listening to in terms of music right now? If you were to like, I guess in the sense of like, it's a time capsule, this episode right here, and like 10 years later, you can sort of go back to this maybe and be like, what was I listening to 10 years ago? Like, what songs or like artists would you guys time capsule in this very moment for the future?
Honestly, I haven't really been listening to very many artists at all recently.
Whoa.
Mostly I've been listening to like Laura's record and working on Laura's record because we're in the middle of recording.
Mm-hmm.
And or like, I don't know, we've been watching The Simpsons. So I've been listening to Danny Elfman's Simpsons theme song.
We've been listening to like Tim Heidecker.
Yeah, I've been listening to some Tim Heidecker stuff.
Oh, that's in my notes.
Really?
For some reason, when you Google what is 36, and like on the Facebook, it says Tim Heidecker is God or something like that. I forget exactly the quote, but there is something about your guys' Facebook page and Tim Heidecker.
What?
That's
or
hilarious.
Not Heidecker.
It's probably something that Taylor posted.
Yeah.
About Tim Heidecker because he's great.
Are we talking like Tim and Eric time?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
His music's actually good.
Have you guys heard of Tim Hecker? I think.
Oh,
yeah,
Tim Hecker's amazing.
Also really good.
We were just listening to Tim Hecker too.
His album Virgins was incredibly inspiring for me.
We just drew a bunch of MS Paint pictures of the roommates to Tim Hecker the other week, and all of the MS Paint pictures turned out very differently.
Sounds like a fun little art experiment.
Yeah.
So The Simpsons, Tim Hecker, Tim Heidecker, anyone else in terms of Laura's record?
That new the artist.
The new Tame Impala record was a no-go.
There's a new Tame Impala record.
Yes, the Slow Rush.
Oh shit!
Wow,
I'm
we
gonna
suck.
check that out.
Yep. I also have to listen to Fiona Apple's Fetch the Bolt Cutter still. I haven't listened to it yet.
That's kind of
Yeah.
interesting to hear
Change
that
our
you guys are kind of in like maybe a bit of a chamber of like lack of like you're sort of just insulated with your own sounds more so than
Yeah, I would say that's
influences.
accurate. And also just like after being on tour for like 6 months, it's like sometimes you want a bit of a break from music.
Mm-hmm.
I
Yeah.
can imagine.
Even if it is like the thing that keeps you alive. You need a break from everything at some point.
Yeah. I enjoy writing music and recording music way more than I enjoy listening to music. Listening to other people's music. I do. I don't want to go all like Jaden Smith on y'all, but for real, I would rather listen to my record than anybody else's record any day.
Yeah, well, I mean, when you write music, you are writing like your ideal version of a song.
Yeah.
Usually, I think.
Yeah. It's like you're writing music that has every element that you like, that you get from music.
Yeah.
So it becomes your favorite album if you do it right, you know?
As long as as long as it's
Exactly.
successful.
It's funny because not a lot of people, but there's definitely a group of musicians that I know are the type to like constantly berate their own work for some reason and always like kind of idolize other people's work, even if they are like successful artists. I can't name a specific person off the top of my head, but I feel like that has a certain like there's this way of like pretending like you don't have an ego by like, I don't want to talk about my own music. I just want to like even if people really like it, you'll just like only enjoy other people's music whenever you talk about it or whatever.
It's like pretending you don't have an ego, or like genuinely just like being nervous to talk about your own music, because I think that like it can be scary for a lot of people, and artists are always walking that line between like having ego and then also having like crippling self-doubt.
Yeah.
That's thank you, Laura. Thank you for adding that. I was about to just rip into people for something I don't know anything about, so fair enough.
Yeah, that's real.
I guess the next thing I kind of was curious about is you mentioned being like financially surviving on music. At what point did you guys like quit your jobs and really just go solo on music?
We started like
December?
Yeah, well, Laura got a concussion in December of 2018, and that knocked her out until basically we were on tour in April of 2019, and I worked until about February 2019, and then in or maybe it was January. I think it was January, and then in February I went off and did like I was in the backing band for a musical theater thing. But so that wasn't quite like working on my own music, but it was still, I don't know, it's kind of somewhere in there.
It's in the career of music.
Music
like,
related career.
Yeah. But
it's not being a barista.
So I guess it's been over a year now that we've been musicians only as our primary source of income. And
That's awesome.
Served us so much better. I'll tell you this much, we are doing way better financially. Well, we're not really that great right now, obviously, but we were doing really good.
Eliminated debt at least.
Yeah, got out of debt.
Wow.
And I think it's because we're not paying rent.
Yeah, if you live in a van, you just have to pay insurance.
Yeah, your insurance is your rent, so that means that your rent goes from like $600 to like $150. You have to pay for gas way more than you would usually, but it's way cheaper to live on the road.
Yeah. And you're making like enough money in each place to pay for groceries and the gas to the next place, hopefully. So
you'll have homies helping out every now and then too,
yeah,
right?
totally.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, we're just staying with you for a little bit here. No big deal. Thanks for having us at your house for a week.
Like, I actually, I don't know if you guys have talked to Rachel recently, but I know like she's was at one of the couple of the shows. The Floodhouse show. I actually just interviewed them. Yeah. Because they also do like kind of interesting DIY like punk and queer like art in Oakland. They also have a couple of music bands as well. So it's really funny that like I'm interviewing you guys and them at the same time. And I remember you also stayed with them, I think, after the show.
Yeah,
Really.
they cut Taylor's hair and started the beginning of Taylor's awesome hair.
They started this.
Hey.
Can you see it? Look at how long it is now. It goes all the way down here. It's crazy.
The little curls that go off to the side.
Yeah.
I can't do it myself, but maybe
It started
one day.
me cutting my hair short too, because when I went on tour, it was like really long.
She's got this.
The nub.
She's got a little
The
nub
vibe.
now.
Now I look like that guy on Treasure Planet who rides that cool surfboard through the cities.
Obscure reference that I do get for some reason. I guess I grew up with that movie too.
Treasure Planet's the best. I love that movie. I've seen it like at least 50 times.
The beginning is so like intense and sad though. The dad leaving.
Yeah, don't
I
give it
never
away.
got over that.
Don't give it away.
No spoilers.
No spoilers, but the first 5 minutes.
It's never. It's never.
Imagine watching your dad leaving to never come back.
That's, I mean, I didn't have to watch them leave, but they never came back. They were never there to begin with.
Roast. Hot family roast.
Speaking of, I think maybe not family, but how did you guys meet? Like, what's the history of Laura and Taylor?
Well, we're both in the Calgary music scene for quite a long time. Before we really became close, I think.
Yeah, and there was that, there's this science and arts festival called Beakerhead here that's like a pretty big deal, and there was this opportunity for a giant supergroup band to be created out of some of Calgary's, I guess, better bands.
Whoa.
And 36 got in, and Laura Hickley got in, and a couple other bands got in, and there was 15 of us musicians that like met every week, and we learned a whole bunch of each other's songs and covers, like Bill Nye the Science Guy covers and like other ones, and we just made this humongous, insane band, and we had the audiences able to manipulate the sound live with pedals that we put out on a table so that they could interact with the 15 piece.
That's so crazy.
And yeah, Taylor drove me and my sister to the band practice every week.
Oh,
How recent was this? Like a couple years ago, 3 or 4 years
This
ago?
was 2018. September 2018?
It was like
September,
July
October?
through September of 2018.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
I would have thought you guys would have known each other a lot longer. That's so crazy. Or I mean, I guess you knew each other, but like
Yeah.
have been
Just
hanging
like
out
not
more.
like we didn't get close until then.
Yeah. It was a pretty like immediate, we knew that there was a connection
I mean,
immediately.
are you
And then-
out?
What?
You guys, are you out as a couple or just as a musician / band mates? Or did
Are
I
we
just
out?
you
Like,
guys?
have we come out? Are we out?
Yeah, have you like?
Yeah.
Does people
Yeah.
know? Everyone knows.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we're out.
Okay.
People know.
People know.
People know.
People be known.
It's obs.
I mean, unless there's a Facebook post that says "in relationship," I don't know if it's real. I don't know if it's.
Yeah, it's true. We
Official.
haven't made it Facebook
We
official.
haven't made it Facebook official.
Uh-oh. That's like the beginning of the end.
Yeah.
My
Just
partner
kidding.
was like,
I'm scared. I have commitment issues. Nothing.
It's just a post for your friends to like, and then you're all like, "Aw," and then everybody forgets about it. 10 minutes later, like it really isn't. It's such a meaningless social media thing, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I
cool.
think it's pretty obvious. Like, we literally like have lived together for like
yeah.
I don't know how many years now. I guess 2 years,
Yeah.
and
Wow.
we're like everywhere we go, we're always together. I think we've had like maybe, other than that time when you went to Vigilante to do that musical theater thing, I think we've been together for like every single day except maybe a week
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
this whole time.
It's been
commitment.
Don't
man.
get much time away from this one.
Yeah, whatever. He says that, but if I ever leave, he's like texting me like, "Where'd you go? Come back, I miss you."
You got to meet Taylor like post, angst post
Yeah.
going through all this struggle. Because
I'm really glad.
At least in the song I listened to on Bandcamp, there was some interesting lyrics that you might want to reconsider.
I don't think I would have liked you if I met you before.
Yeah. I'm only keeping up the Bandcamp page because I think it's such like a good encapsulation of just like how fucked and like how like just ratchet my mental health was at that point.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, definitely think I need to put some trigger warnings on it.
I mean, I don't think I heard anything too crazy, but it was just kind of cringy, I guess. But that's okay.
Yeah, no, it's
everyone has the cringy.
Yeah, you haven't heard the cringy ones that he's taken down.
Yeah, I've removed the cringiest.
Well, now I'm just sad. Now, I mean, we all have I have cringy videos on my YouTube channel. Not this one personally, but the other one that I do. Anyways, but yeah, everyone has cringe. Don't feel bad.
Yeah.
Learn from it, grow from it.
Yeah. Learn from our cringy behavior in the past.
Wild. All right, I'm looking at my Google Doc to see if there's anything I really wanted to talk about. Did you guys see that Walk Off the Earth Goche cover of the acoustic guitar and then want to do one? I mean, this might be specifically for Taylor because I don't know if you know about this, Laura. There's a video, I think, of not Walk Off the Earth, but Goche's song on a ukulele on some random YouTube channel that you guys had posted. I think it was just Taylor's probably.
Yeah, no, this was like on one of the first tours as 36. And this is before Laura was in the band. But we saw that cover of everyone doing playing one acoustic guitar
and they cover the Goche song.
Yeah, and we thought, let's try that on our own on the ukulele.
Isn't it crazy? If you guys had done it before them, you would have had a career. Because they not that you don't have a career, but you know what I mean. Walk Off the Earth literally got a career because of that YouTube video. It's so my mom has T-shirts of Walk Off the Earth. If you're familiar with this band, I don't even.
Yeah, when I hear Walk Off the Earth, I just want to walk off the earth. To be honest. Oops.
Walk out of the room. At least.
Fired, dude. Shots fired.
Walk off of the stage, please.
Good to know you guys were inspired by YouTube music in the future. Of Sled Island. I didn't research it, but it seems to be familiar with you guys. What is Sled Island?
Sled Island is it's a kind of a similar kind of vibe to South by Southwest and Treefort Music Fest and those kind of multi-venue music festivals. Kind of like I think Noise Pop is similar.
Yeah, probably. If that's what you're describing.
But and I don't know. It's just but they usually have pretty great acts. They always have a particular. So
it's Calgary's kind of booking company for
it's Calgary's kind of more act I don't know, a music festival that is more geared towards interesting arty music.
Art rock.
Yeah, I don't know, for instance, they had Flying Lotus do the be the artist. What's the word?
The curator.
The curator. Yeah, they have a different artistic curator every year. And one year they had Flying Lotus, and another year they had.
They had Julian Baker.
Julian Baker.
Hey.
Yeah, I love Julian Baker.
They'll have they'll have pretty cool.
They'll get one big band. Everyone in one big guy.
Well, the one band chooses a lot of the bands, but not all of them.
Yeah.
Oh, so they
they
choose.
Yeah.
they usually have a couple of like pretty well, like we played with Weaves or with Waves one year.
The two V's.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're I think the thing down here. I don't listen to them, but they're yes, I've heard of them.
But yeah, no, they're but so like they've got a pretty decent. It's like Calgary's kind of festival. I don't know how to describe it other than like just.
And you guys
they always have
play
good
it
music.
We've
played it quite a few times.
Nice.
It's great.
When does it happen?
Usually in June.
Usually in June. Not this year. No.
Yeah, it's not happening this year.
Isn't like Calgary at its peak in like June, July, August? Like that's like, I guess the summer.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they have the Calgary Stampede, the greatest outdoor show on earth.
It's terrible. It's the worst.
It's like the worst.
When are they going to legalize weed there? Oh, I guess they did.
It's legal. It's legal
now.
now.
It's legal everywhere in Canada now.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like packaged.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I should know that.
It's packaged real shitty though.
It's horrible for the environment. I cannot believe
it's always
how much.
in like giant. Like if you get a gram,
Plastic.
it's in like a giant plastic dome.
And it's so unappealing with no good branding whatsoever because they tried to make it look scary and like a weird medical product that's like.
Oh yeah,
it looks like aspirin, but even aspirin has better branding than
Yeah.
weed.
Yeah, what's up with that?
I don't know what they did. I don't know why.
It's probably something like because it's only been legal for 2 years.
Yeah, I think it's been 2 years now. That's crazy.
Wow, that's nuts.
It's been it.
Yeah, I mean I think California's only starting to get like good at it too. We've only had it for like 5 years, so I think maybe in a couple more years it'll look better and less bad for the environment. But I'm sure, or hopefully, I don't know. I guess
I definitely
experience it.
Y'all, how is y'all's different than Washington? How Washington?
I don't know if it is different. Is it?
I can't remember if is it like state run or is it like.
Yeah, it's state by state is the legalization because it's still federally illegal. It's crazy in these states.
How's that work?
How's that work? Well, you're committing a federal crime, but the FBI doesn't really have time to investigate every person who smokes weed in the state of California because that's like 10 million people probably, I think, but it's so it's federally legal. So like theoretically, if you did some shit that the FBI wanted to like fuck with you, you could get like attacked. You could, like, if you're like a distributor or a producer, for some reason the FBI cares. But I think now that like it's become fairly mainstream in California, like there would be a lot of like backlash if FBI tried to stop it here.
Yeah.
Like, I just think it's too much of an economic force at this point that people can't really even care to stop it because it's so ridiculous.
Interesting. I'm wondering when, at one point, it'll just be federally legal.
Fairly soon, I think, like within the next 10 years.
Yeah.
Which seems still too long, but
yeah.
I think the more and more it just becomes like this money thing, because that's all that really matters. It's like, people are making money from this, let's make it legal because now it's a business and people deserve to make money. And not that like it has. I mean, the only real reason it's illegal, as far as I know, is like just big pharma 100 years ago essentially was like, let's make this illegal so we can sell our opiate type shit or like morphine and everything.
There was also something to do with like how hemp was like a competing thing with cotton or like textiles.
Kevin's a weed podcast now.
Yeah.
You're good. Taylor and I are both just fans of weed, we'll be honest. It's okay. It comes up every pod. There's just a brief weed talk. But yeah, what was before weed? Where were we?
Who knows?
I don't know, man.
We got into the pit of weed. Sled Island. Calgary Stampede. Are you guys like? Do you ever play that, or is that purely just cowboys and cow people?
Well, have we played the Stampede? I don't know if we have.
The Coke stage?
I don't think we have.
I don't think we have. No, I haven't for sure.
I don't think I have, but I don't know.
You may have
I
forgotten.
don't think we
I
have.
don't know. It's just kind of like, I don't know. This Calgary Stampede fucking sucks. I don't
know.
give a shit.
I
what
think there's
anybody
some
says.
good things. Some
It
good things.
sucks.
The best parts are there's baby chickens, but that's not even that good because you think about how cruel it is.
It's just a giant.
There's horses, but that's also cruel. And you go into the animal
They have,
places,
like,
you're like,
chuck
oh,
wagon
there's
races
cute
and-
animals, but they're all abused and
Yeah.
horses die every year at
And
the
they're,
Stampede.
Like horses, yeah. The horses all like have to be euthanized because they lose the race, like kind of shit. And you're like,
Wait,
yeah,
it's not
your
because they lose
genes
the
no
race. It's
good.
because they're injured.
oh yeah, because they lose the. Well, they still lose the race, getting injured.
Yeah, it's terrible. And also, all the people there are fake cowboys. Just so you know, nobody is an actual cowboy at all.
Yeah.
Everybody is just a drunk white person wearing cowboy boots and a
Appropriating
shitty
culture.
straw hat that they bought at some shitty store that
Lamley's.
that just like stocks up on hats right around the Stampede.
Hashtag fuck Lamley's.
And then everybody just gets shit faced for like 5 days straight and makes really bad decisions. And the birth rate 9 months after Stampede like spikes because so many people get pregnant during the Stampede, which is fine, whatever. But it's just there's a lot of sex happens at the Stampede.
Nothing wrong with sex.
There's nothing wrong with sex. I love sex, but it's just there's lots of it all the time.
Good to know. I've never experienced Stampede myself, but I hope to one day at least know what it's like because I have relatives there.
It's kind of like if you have a giant, really like overpriced carnival that has like a bunch of like rides that are at every single carnival, but nothing like really crazy. Like, I don't know. They have like they have 2 good rides and they're $40 each to go on.
Yeah.
And then they have like a bunch of and then it's just like fucking drunk as fuck people
Bars.
everywhere.
Yeah.
Like
have you ever gone into
choking on a fucking corn dog and like shits all over their fucking face, and they're like, well, go over to the log ride. You're like, fuck off. What are you contributing to society?
Yeah. Have you ever gone into a house party and it's just filled with a bunch of those dude bros that you really don't want to be friends with? That's just imagine every single train is packed with people like that. And if you take any sort of public transit, you're in for a ride. Like you are going to see stuff happen.
Have you guys ever been to like a Pride event? Is there Pride at all in Canada?
Yeah.
I guess in Vancouver there is, right?
Totally.
Yeah, totally.
Those are sick.
So it's like reverse conservative Pride essentially.
Yeah.
Yeah, it sounds like the opposite of Pride, totally.
Yeah.
And a lot of people that I know are not proud of the Stampede.
It's gross. I don't know. It's just I don't know. It's just like, I don't know. It's like if you had like a PG version of The Purge, it would be the Calgary Stampede.
What? Doesn't make
There's just
any
a bunch of people who like need to like get out what the fuck ever they need to get out, and like using like a fake cowboy costume as a reason to change who they are for a week and become pieces of shit.
Damn.
Sorry.
Anyway,
this is-
sorry. We don't. This is very warm right now. This is a hot interview.
Yeah. Luckily, nobody gets this far in, so you guys are okay. This is just
This
us.
is for the true fans. Talk shit with us, with the true fans.
Well, good to know. I don't know. I'd love to go with you guys, but probably no one else. To Stampede if I ever did, just to like.
I would
If
go.
you-
to
I would
Calgary
go with
Stampede
you.
with you.
I would do that with you,
Oh, that
just so we
sounds so
can
much fun.
we can
Fuck,
watch
man.
it together. Like, just be like, yep,
It's
and
great.
this is what we were
It's
talking
great
about.
people watching, honestly. I mean, like,
Yeah.
like I don't know. As long as you're like down to just watch like problematic behavior
Oh, gee.
through
Yeah.
through binoculars.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Every time the Stampede starts,
Fuck.
I always end up being in the middle of some fight, like like seeing a fight and running to try and help. But also there's fireworks and mini
Hey.
donuts.
Yeah.
So
Then you can get like deep fried Kit Kat bars or some
Okay.
garbage.
you can get
bullshit.
deep fried lobsters, man. They do weird
Dang.
stuff. Or scorpions, deep fried scorpions. One year they had those. It was weird.
Yeah.
Well, Do you think you guys will be in Canada, like Vancouver or Calgary next summer, like 2021, or is there already like a tour
No.
planned?
Maybe
I
there's a
doubt
good
it.
chance we're gonna be in the UK or in the USA.
Whoa, that's hype.
We're just trying to
Yeah.
we're kind of figuring out what the plans are gonna be. It's really weird trying to like to plan the future right now
Yeah.
because you
Totally.
don't know what the future is. What if this is just the rest of our lives? We're just here
Stuck
in a room
doing interviews via
doing
Skype or Facebook, whatever
doing
this is.
occasional live stream shows that like 20,000 people are attending online, like, and they're all
Hey.
like holding glow sticks in a giant Zoom call. I'm like, oh my god, it's so good to see you all out there.
Well, at least you can change
Their
your
phones with
background in
flash
Zoom
on.
to be like the San Francisco Bridge, so you can feel like you're traveling.
Yeah, totally.
The Zoom backgrounds. Oh yeah, good times. Well, oh yeah, I kind of did want to get into that a little bit, just because I don't know if we'll like. I would love to do a Laura Hickley interview too. It seems kind of like probably not for like a year or two, because who knows how long I'll be doing these. But I did notice there's some British stuff going on with you, Laura. What's up with that? Like what?
Some British stuff.
You got some UK connects?
I've got some UK connections. Yeah, I do. I went and well, okay. So I have a friend who went to the Banff Center for Arts and Creativity, which is like this residency in Banff that I actually ended up getting into myself. But before I got in, my friend got in and met this awesome, feisty Scottish girl named Carla Easton. And then he got invited to go record on her record in Montreal. So I flew out with him and like came to the studio even though I wasn't invited. And I just sat there like all day and waited. And I was like, hey, I can add keys in this part, or hey, if you want some vocals, I can jump in there. And I just like, I weaseled my way in, and then I got in, and then she was like, wow, you're great. I actually really like you. And then got me credits on the album. And then we lived together in this flat and got drunk every night and became really good friends. And then she was like, later on, she was touring the record, and she's like, Laura, I want you to come out and learn the record and like play it for the tour. So yeah, I flew out to Scotland and played this record and toured it at like a whole bunch of sweet festivals and like played on BBC Live twice and like
Dude, I'm so
headlined
jealous.
a whole bunch of
That
cool
sounds so much fun. Oh my god.
festivals. Yeah, it was sweet.
How long ago was that? Was that recent or?
Not long. I mean, that was the beginning of 2018. I was in the UK. Yeah, it was so fun.
So then what's going on now in 2020?
Well, I mean, we're probably going to go back at some point to the UK because I love it there, and we kind of want to explore that market and see what that's like. And I'm going to try and jump onto a whole bunch of shows with Carla. I called her. I'm going to call her. It'll be fine. We're friends.
It'll work out.
It's fine. She'll be down.
Yeah, I mean, that is essentially the music scene. It's just your homies hooking it up for you. You just keep
Exactly.
the cycle going. That's awesome. Well, yeah, that's super exciting. I hope that works out. I love shout outs to the UK.
Yeah,
Definitely
totally.
a gorgeous place.
Yeah, it's so beautiful there. I love
Yeah,
old
good
cities. That's why I want to go to Europe.
Here's my question. You need a band manager to be with you on that tour. No, you already have a manager. I'm sorry. I just want to go on tour at some point. Who knows when that'll happen, but I'd love to go to Europe.
That's so funny. I'm pretty sure that this executive producer already has your job, though. Sorry. Taylor does everything.
Look, all I'm saying, I have no connections. Great work ethic, okay? I can look at shit on Instagram and write it down. Subscribe,
so
send
awesome.
emails.
Just wheedle your way in, man. That's how you do
That's
it.
exactly how it's going to go down. Like, doesn't that have for everyone? Kind of keep putting yourself out there and eventually something happens, right?
Yeah. I think that's how.
How did you guys get signed to the record company that you're on even? Like, I don't even... Or was that just the Canada hookup?
It's kind of like I don't know. Is it a long story or is it a boring story?
Just hit the highlights.
Basically, we back in 2014, 36 got into this like both BC and Alberta had this kind of dual province wide radio contest thing where they to like help up and coming bands, and 36 was a part of that, and we ended up winning $50,000 to
Wow.
to use like as a grant pretty much, so it had to be for music specific stuff. And anyway, that caught the eye of the of someone from the record label, and we sat down and
They're like, you have
talked.
money? We'll take that money.
And we sat down and talked in like 2015, and then didn't see much of each other again until 2019 when just randomly ran into each other at Sled Island, and they saw our Sled Island performance and was like, yeah, we're into if you guys have a record coming out, we'll be down. And we did. And the rest is very kind of like you can assume what happened.
Yeah. You signed some contracts. They did the distribution for you. They did some ads. It did okay. Probably not as good as you wanted to, but you're still around.
They actually did a great job. I was pretty stoked. I mean, still haven't hit like 100,000 K on any of the songs, but we're like, it doesn't seem out of the realm of possibility, which is pretty wild for me.
What like is that like on sales or CDs or something?
That's like just on Spotify.
Oh, okay.
I just like basically my metrics are I'll look at like for success are like looking at the things that I use and judging by that only and nothing else.
It's not smart.
So like,
it's the way
how are
I
we
do it
doing on
too.
Spotify? And are we a Pitchfork Best New Record yet?
Then no,
and
then time to
and
keep
depending
doing it.
on those answers is whether or
So-
not I'm a success.
You guys are pro Pitchfork. We could say it now.
Pro Pitchfork, yeah.
I think I'm pro. What they say is what they like. I generally like, but what they don't like, sometimes I'm like, come on. I thought that was still pretty good. You know?
I'm like, sometimes I like what I usually like what Pitchfork says is the best album, but sometimes I'm like, no, I don't like this at all.
Yeah. I think the funny thing is, sorry, let me cut you off there, Taylor. Stop right there. I think what people need to remember too is like, it's not one person is Pitchfork. It's like a bunch of different people that work for this company.
Yeah.
They're just trying to make money, and like they give the reviews that they think will make them the most money, not what's their honest truth. I mean, it's all kind of a corporate thing still,
Huh?
which
That
kind of
hurts.
sucks.
Yeah, I think that like what was I gonna say? I can't remember.
Yeah.
'Cause I was cut off.
Cut off.
Sorry, Taylor. I know your brain only has like 5 seconds of memory. So I'll never do it again. We were talking about. Do you want me to keep going? I have a couple more things before we wrap up because we actually are over an hour. But it's been so much fun. I'm down to keep going a little bit.
I don't really have shit to do other than.
I'm waiting for my dad to make some burgers, so I'm on the same.
Your dad's making burgers?
Making burgers tonight.
Oh, we just had
Yo.
burgers. We just made
Hey.
burgers.
We just made burgers. They were dank.
Yeah, so dang.
Medium rare.
We don't have
ground beef.
That's not a
That's
thing
not
in Canada.
Yeah.
You
What?
can't
That's
have rare
right.
burgers in Canada because everyone's
Oh my
all,
God.
I don't want to get mad cow disease. It's real.
No place
I mean,
in
but you
Calgary
can
that-
make your own burger
You can
rare.
make them rare, but you can't order rare. If you go to like if you go to a restaurant in Canada and ask for medium rare burger, they will not know what you mean.
I got to stretch. We've been sitting here for so long.
No, yeah.
Stretching.
That's crazy though. What the heck? Why?
I don't know.
who cracked
I'm
that?
pretty sure like the meat's not worse up here. Maybe it is. Maybe
No,
like
you guys like cut. You guys have cows, right?
yeah, like we're all like Alberta is all like, yeah, we make the best beef in the entire world.
We should be proud. We
For
love
sure
Alberta
that's Not
beef.
the case. I'm sorry.
There's always like signs about Alberta oil and gas and Alberta beef that are all just like the worst.
Worst.
Yikes.
I feel like Calgary is like, what is Calgary like? Calgary's kind of like Austin,
Except not as cool.
except not as cool. But like Calgary is like it's like
What's Edmonton then?
Edmonton's
Houston?
also kind of like Austin.
Edmonton's worse than Calgary.
Yeah.
Ooh,
In my personal
Oilers versus the Flames. What are those symbols? What's a flame? What is it?
It's hockey,
Oil-
and they suck.
Yeah.
Whoa.
I don't give a fuck about hockey either. There, I
Okay,
said
we
it.
won't talk about it. It was like the next 30 questions. So I guess I just throw that all away. Do we get into Canada, or is that like just? I feel like that's a little general. I don't know. It depends on you guys'
What?
vibe. Do you want to like get into Canada talk?
No,
What are the-
I don't
what
want
are-
to talk about Canada.
What are Canada topics?
So how
Canada
much does it
topics are
snow?
like, how do you say about? I heard some people say a boot, or y'all live in igloos or something, or
Is it like the is it like out? Is that how
Out?
it goes down? Because like it's kind of hard to tell.
a boot
Um,
is what I always
About?
hear.
About.
A boot.
I'm walking to the store and I'm
About.
about to buy
think-
this.
I
I'm
think
about
it's
to buy this.
I think Americans say about,
I'm about to buy this.
and Canadians say about.
I'm about to buy this. I'm about.
Is it pasta or pasta?
Pasta. I'm making some pasta.
It's pasta. But
I
here
don't
they
know.
say pasta.
Do you say pasta?
I say
Or maybe I say
pasta joint. Right, back to the weed.
Yeah.
All right. I'll wrap it.
Pasta
no,
la
none of that
vista, baby.
Conversational nonsense.
Pasta la vista on this convo.
We were talking about Spotify a little bit. If you had to pick like one artist from your like fans, also listen to this to go on tour with, do you guys have an option picked out? Do you know?
Of our
Even-
specifically from
Do
Spotify.
you want me to list out? I can go check.
Yeah. List it for us.
Yeah. Okay. Here we
But
go.
then I have to say no until like, what if I just say no the whole
Oh,
time?
actually, don't listen for us. That sounds bad.
Okay. Never
Hey,
mind.
wait, I'm
You
gonna
can
look.
go
I'm gonna
check.
look it.
We're gonna
I'm
casually
gonna look it up on.
You guys check your Spotify.
Do you know who I think 36 should tour with? Laura Hickley.
What?
I'm just kidding. That already happened.
Oh
Ah!
my god,
was horrible.
that's pretty funny.
Shout out.
Safe.
Holy crap!
Safe choice over here.
Okay. Here goes. We're looking up ourselves on Spotify.
This is something I do every day. Fans also like, okay,
All right, look at your choices. Say nothing. Just and then you both say. them
they're
at the
all
same
bands
time.
from Calgary.
Let's do the or
On 4, 3, 2, 1.
They're all bands from Calgary.
Is that
No.
is that what you want?
Is that what you want?
But that was like the joke, I guess. Was like because I like the idea of just like Spotify decides your career. You know, like you guys are fans like these guys too, so you guys have to work with them.
Yeah, it's all Calgary bands, every single one. They're all good bands, though. I would say all of them are good.
Mm-hmm.
Well, there we go. Safe answers all around.
I mean, like,
You don't have to pick one. It's okay.
when I look at what would be the best to tour with, I think like, okay, I want to tour with a band that doesn't have the exact same no following anywhere as us. And that's every one of those bands.
Damn. Shots fired.
Yeah, to yourself.
Okay, then I guess we're pretty much done here. But I do have this written down, and I just you tell me if this means anything, because I don't remember.
I would
what
love
this
to hang
means.
out on tour with every one of those bands. Also, I feel like I should
We can
say
all
that.
talk in the green room. We can all vibe.
Y'all are good, okay?
Y'all are
We
good
want
stuff.
you. We want you.
We want you.
DM us sometime.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Come on the
DM
show.
us.
I'm down. What is thoughts on Wendigo? I wrote that down. I don't know if it means anything.
I love
them.
Wendigo.
They're amazing.
They're awesome. we love all of the people, and the drummer in Wendigo is the drummer in 36 actually
Hey.
when we're in Calgary.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, they're great. They're great.
They're all such great people. I teach Anthony Piano, actually. And he's the lead singer in Wendigo. And he's also our great buddy and friend.
Yeah.
Was there like a nice community then in Calgary at least? Like even if overall Calgary's kind of whatever, there's at least like the tight knit homies.
Yeah, I'd say the music scene in Calgary is very good. It's real nice. They have a really great thing. I think the best thing that Calgary has is they have a thing called Rockin' for Dollars.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, it's a thing where like, they'll have like every week it's like a sign up sheet, kind of like an open mic, but it's like an open mic with bands, and each band plays for like 10 minutes. And then at the very end of the night, every band that played spins a wheel and could win money or could win like some random shit.
Yeah, like
Whoa.
like you could either win $1,000, which happened to me once. Like I won $1,000 spinning the wheel, or you can win like cold hard cash, which I won once, where you have like money inside of a giant ice cube, and you have to like break the ice cube. And if you get to the money in your first throw, then you get to keep the money. And then there's other ones where you have to like spit beer in somebody's face, or like eat a thing of hot sauce.
Yeah,
it's like really
shot
awesome.
Of hot sauce. Like some of the prizes are horrible.
Yeah,
but it's like a really cool like camaraderie that kind of is like I don't know. It's a really cool it's a really cool thing for the Calgary music scene. I think it's the best thing that Calgary has, because it's like anybody can do it, and everyone's all in it together, and it's like they take like a giant group photo like every single week. It happens once a week too.
Yeah.
Or did.
And after every band that plays, the entire bar has to line up, and then the band gets off stage and high fives literally everybody in the bar.
That is not COVID safe. That is not COVID safe.
It's not COVID safe. It's not happening right now.
Yeah.
That's super cool. I'm honestly kind of jealous. I wish there was something like that in the Bay, or like the US in general.
There could be.
Yeah,
I mean,
like if you make
who's
one,
gonna pay for it? Like who pays for that?
Well, I mean, they charge like a $3 cover to everyone who comes in.
even the musicians,
Yeah.
Oh.
everybody pays $3.
Everyone pays
$3.
$3. And then if you play, you get like a drink ticket, so it pays for the drink ticket basically.
You get a PBR.
Yeah. And
Or what do they drink in the States or Canada? I mean.
PBR is a thing.
Okay.
PBR is a word heard around the world.
Yeah,
Good
PBR
to
is
know.
universal.
Yeah, it's like USB.
Oh yeah. Hell yeah. Well, I'm kind of out of questions unless you guys had anything more to say, which happy to give you that avenue. Shout outs.
I don't
red
got
carpet
anything
is
to
open.
say really.
Yeah,
I mean,
I've said it all.
It's just been really nice talking to you. It's been
Yeah.
so long.
Aww.
I miss you.
Miss you
Aw.
guys too, yeah.
I love you.
This could be like the end off here. I'll like take care, everyone. Enjoy your lives.
Okay, if I do this, you can link it to mine.
Yeah, and I'll just stand in the background.
It'll actually be like this, but go the other way, Taylor.
Okay.